The Center of Creative Arts, or COCA, is nationally recognized for its programs that provide multidisciplinary arts education, and it routinely showcases the talents of its students. Here with me from COCA is Beth McClure. It's always great to have you at the station.
Thanks, Sarah. Good to see you.
It's good to see you. So we're kind of coming up sort of mid to end COCA Presents series, but there's a lot of stuff going on, and we're going to kind of finish up with what's left in the season and talk about that today.
Yes.
So let's start off with Lizzie Bright and the Buckminster Boy. That's the next. Is that part of COCA Presents, or it's another production that you're doing?
Well, it's actually one of our student productions. It's the COCA Theater Company, which is what we call our student theater company. And yes, it's coming up the first weekend in April. And it's a really great show. It's based on a book that I think a lot of middle school students read. So hopefully there will be some familiarity with the story out there. And the story is really timely, actually, even though it's set in 1912. It's the story of two children and their friendship. One African-American girl and a white boy who become friends. They bond over learning to play baseball, actually, and how they sort of change the views of their community through their growing friendship. And so it's a really sweet, beautiful story, and I'm told that our student actors are just really embracing the material, and it's going to be a really great show.
I think what so many people love about COCA and the community is that, you know, not just on its own for its arts, the arts that it does, and performing arts all across the board, but the ability for families to engage in the arts together. It's so hard, I think, for a parent to take their child out to do something in the arts and not know if it's age appropriate. And you offer such a variety for young kids all the way up through middle school, even with high school and adults, really. So, I mean, with this play, what age group would you say this one is for? Is it?
Sure, I'd say it's probably for about that second or third grade on up through adults.
Okay.
So, yes.
And something coming up that might be also maybe a little bit broader, Where the Wild Things Are.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is a hugely popular children's book, but tell me about the production or this play.
Sure. So as you said, it's a beloved children's book. We've had so much excitement about the fact that we're bringing this show to COCA. This is actually a touring company that's coming in. This is the only production of Where the Wild Things Are that is sanctioned by Maurice Sendak, the author of that beloved book. And what's really neat about it, it's for our youngest audience members, like you were saying. We try to have something for the whole family, and so it's appropriate for, we're saying, 3 and up.
Okay.
And it's an interactive guided play, which means that those 3-year-olds on up through their parents are a part of the production.
Really?
And
so how does that work?
Yes.
Just in the middle of the play, or just as it's progressing, they might turn to the audience, the performers, and then get the audience involved?
Exactly. So it will be in our, what we call our black box theater. So it's a smaller, intimate space. Some of the audience members will be sitting on the floor, and the whole show itself is just done with 2 actors playing all the parts, and so that leaves a lot of room for the audience to get involved and have just a lot of fun with this story that is familiar to them. And if you know the book, you'll know there's a wild rumpus, and of course that's there's definitely time for the audience to be involved in that.
What do you think from the whole season? Each season you put together this really great, sort of curate this really great season of different productions. What do you think for kids going with their families? Like, what's the sort of, not takeaway, but the experience of being exposed to the arts and involved in them from such a young age?
Oh, there are so many benefits to being involved, to being exposed to the arts, and especially actively engaging with your family. I think that's something that we try to put a lot of emphasis on at COCA, that you can bring your children. For a lot of the kids that come to our COCA Presents series, it's their first theatrical experience, and so there's just something magical about the lights going down and not knowing what to expect on the stage, and that anticipation and excitement. It's a family bonding experience. You can then have conversations after you leave the show, talk about what you saw, what it meant, how it made you feel. And it's the entry point to the arts for a lot of people. And so that's really what we hope to accomplish.
Right, and then they can also come then back to COCA to enroll in camps and classes, which is where we're going to continue with after we take our quick break. But we've got the information there for you on the screen. 2 really, really wonderful upcoming productions. Lizzie Bright and the Buckminster Boy. That's April 1st through the 3rd. That's a student-produced production, or a student production, again, taking place at Coca in U City, right there near the Loop at 524 Trinity Avenue. And then the following weekend, we've got Where the Wild Things Are, and that is a guided play, an intimate, interactive guided play from April 7th through the 10th. Again, go to cocastl.org for tickets or for more information. But we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to continue to talk with Beth about Coca, talk about summer camps and some other great stuff, so stay with us.